Hey, Gary here with you on day 10, AI blogging with GrooveBlog. We're in the spreadsheet and we have a new keyword, astronomy versus cosmology. So what we're going to do is we're going to have Koala write this post, and we're going to use that new feature, that new SEO feature where we can add the keywords that we get from RankIQ. So inside of RankIQ, what we have here, astronomy versus cosmology. We click report, and the keywords that we're going to get from this report are from the content analysis topics, Google, likes, and posts. So we're going to use all of these keywords, and the way that I've been doing it is inside of GPT because I couldn't before the new feature inside of Koala that we saw yesterday. I couldn't add these keywords in using this prompt to create the outline. So what I want to do is I want to compare this outline to what we get in Koala using these keywords. So this is the outline for the difference between science, astronomy versus cosmology, and then you have the outline here. We're going to take that same keyword. Again, we're going to take this keyword and we're going to simply copy that. We're going to go to KoalaWriter. We're going to switch it to GPT-4. We're going to enter our keyword. Here is the SEO optimization manual. Allows me to list a set of keywords. Of course, that set of keywords that I'm talking about are these keywords right here. And I'm going to copy them from here because I've stripped out all the formatting. And I'm going to copy those. But again, those came from the content analysis inside of RankIQ. I'm going to take those now and I'm going to paste those in here and see it will take them. Also, I've written a couple of these with the AI powered keywords, but I want to do a comparison to see what I get from this keyword, this list of keywords using the SEO optimization manual, and then of course using the real-time results, cite sources, and use the outline editor. And there are some additional options here, and I'm just going to skip those for now. And I'm going to say create outline. It's going to start creating that outline, and then we're going to go back and we're going to compare that just at a glance, what we're getting here from GPT-4 with this layout versus what we're going to get from KoalaWriter when it creates its outline. Now, the next step in writing, actually, I don't just tell ChatGPT to write the blog. What I do is I break it down and I'll go ahead and use my response manager where I'm recording my prompts here, this Chrome extension. What I do then is I use this right here and I say, start writing a blog post. And then I talk about here, hypnotic Nickelodeon style at a 5th grade reading level. And you can see the actual prompt here. Using a hypnotic Nickelodeon style at the 5th grade reading level, write in an insert section to start here. I use a very basic set of details like that to get ChatGPT going, and then I have it do more or less or change it up or give me examples or analogies as I write. And I do that by moving through each one of these after I get the outline, simply by starting that down here. Again, I would just copy this, or I would click my response manager and I would just go ahead and copy that prompt, and then I would paste that prompt in there, and then I would say right here, I would just say write the introduction. And then once I say that, obviously I just hit enter and I let ChatGPT go to work. Welcome, fellow space explorers, to a thrilling adventure in the vast universe. Now, Koala is not writing that way because I don't have that option to say a hypnotic Nickelodeon style at a 5th grade reading level. The option in Koala that I'm using is just a basic standard SEO sort of neutral tone, or what they consider best for SEO. And we're going to see and compare those again using the spreadsheet when we look at the data, when these posts start ranking and the traffic we start getting to them and the responses as far as the amount of time people read it or whatever else we're using the content for. Introduction, astronomy and cosmology, key concepts, branch of astronomy, physical cosmology. But you can see here, and of course you can pause this and I'll scroll down through this, and you can see that this is what Koala came up with for an outline. And you can see here it finished the introduction. Then we'll scroll back up and you can see here the outline that GPT came up with, defining astronomy, the importance of understanding the differences, the science of celestial bodies. Go back to KoalaWriter, branch of astronomy, physical cosmology, historical context. They added in here, exploring the celestial bodies, the solar system, Milky Way, galaxy clusters. So you could see that every time, or they're going to be really close, but every time you generate anything inside of AI, every time you regenerate it, there are going to be little differences and there's going to be changes because it's crunching the data, the prompt that you put in, the input you gave it, it crunches all that and gives you an output. So they're always going to be a little bit different, but they're always going to be really close to the same. You can see here, history and notable figures in astronomy. Of course, those are based on the keywords we got from RankIQ. So if those people are in here, or the historical figures, for example, ancient Greek, Albert Einstein. So we'll go back to KoalaWriter and you scroll down, and is it going to talk about the people like it did? Oh, it didn't. So here's the thing, right? And of course we have Koala Chat as well. Oh, here it did. Albert Einstein, ancient Greek, historical context, Edwin Hubble for the Hubble telescope. So this basically is going to be the same kind of thing, where here you can see historical and notable figures. And then of course the science of celestial bodies. That is the headline for that one. Koala put that under historical context as an H2. And then down here, let's see, did it add the Hubble telescope anywhere? Down here, the Hubble telescope. So we'll probably cover that as far as the person or the name they're looking for when it comes to Hubble. So let's go ahead and just let Koala write the post. And we'll go ahead and say write article. And you can see here, astronomy versus cosmology, understanding the key differences. The blog post that I came up with, or the blog title here, I came up with difference between science, astronomy versus cosmology. Of course, that is part of the analysis here that I'm using. The title analysis, this is inside of RankIQ. I came up with a perfect score, 50 and an A+. But I don't really mind this one as far as what Koala came up with either. So let's go ahead and put that into RankIQ. And you can see it's good. It's a little long, but really it captures probably more. I was going, or what I put in there was a bit of a stretch. I was going for a shorter title to get the number of characters down to great or perfect. But I'm going to go ahead and go with astronomy versus cosmology, understanding the key differences. I think that is better. And we'll just use that. And again, we'll use everything that came from KoalaWriter. And we'll update that in our spreadsheet. Again, post written by KoalaWriter, keyword from RankIQ. We will run a RankIQ report, and we will take a look at the RankIQ score based upon the post being written by Koala. And we will also go ahead and put in the post title. The post title right there. The post URL is going to include this part of the keyword, or it's going to be the root keyword. And we'll go ahead and do that when we paste it in and create the blog post. So here you can see that KoalaWriter is still counting. It's going up. It's probably going to be 2,000-3,000 words. And then that brings me into the number of words and the credit system inside of Koala. This is April 24th. So I have about 30,000 credits left, or 30,000 words out of the 100,000 that I get each month. So that'll reset on the 1st. So we have some wiggle room here to use KoalaWriter the next few days to write these posts for us. And then it'll reset and we'll get our 100,000 back on April 1st. So Koala's still writing. It's going to write that. And then when that finishes, we'll come back into GrooveBlog and we will create a new post. And we do that simply by clicking post inside of GrooveBlog and then clicking new post. And of course that will bring up the post right here. We'll need the title. That title right here, we'll go ahead and we'll copy that. Go back to GrooveBlog and paste that in. And we'll go ahead and we will update the post slug because we don't want it to be that. And we're going to make this all lowercase. And we're going to use dashes here. So we'll dash those and put that lowercase. We will set this to Astronomy Basics. It also brings up the fact that I've added, or I'm going to be adding another category, Cosmology. But of course, I'm going to focus just on the initial category of Astronomy Basics and then use that Cosmology later. And we'll get that going after we get all of our astronomy posts up and hopefully ranking. And speaking of up and ranking, while Koala is still writing, you can see there it's still generating. If you scroll down, you can actually see it writing, and then it'll keep writing, or you can just wait for the word count to finish, and then the download button and the copy button pop up here. Let's take a quick look inside of Google Search Console. Here you can see our sitemap. Today is April 23rd. Or today is April 24th. Talked about this yesterday. You can see here the RSS feed that we submitted. It did update last read April 23rd, and you can see it has discovered the additional posts that we've added. We were at 7, now we're at 10. Of course, this is number 11. That KoalaWriter is currently writing right here. So we're going to go ahead and let that finish, and then we'll be back to create the blog post. And it has finished, and you can see the word count here, 2,694. I typically like to download the HTML right there just to back it up. You can see if you scroll down, there is the completed blog post. And at that point, typically I just hit copy. Then I move it over to GrooveBlog for editing by simply pasting it in. And then I go through and I read it, see if it makes sense, doesn't make sense. Of course, these are references that it's citing and it's pulling the live data from. At some point, I'll go back through and I'll actually find a way to link these out depending on what it's actually linking to, and think about the external linking structure and work on that. But the idea here is you get the draft in here. It's in GrooveBlog, and we are just trying to populate the blog at this point to get the content up. And of course, the sitemap is feeding the information, and Google's going to crawl it, and we're going to see if we can get it crawled, indexed, and ranked simply by letting the AI do the writing or the heavy lifting. And then of course, we go in and edit it and just do a common sense check with our editing hat on and make sure everything looks decent. We'll go ahead and copy that. One note is here, the title is the title, but the H1 is the keyword, and I'm leaving it like that sort of as just a way to make sure that the structure is correct. When Google sees it, they see that H1 as the keyword, and then they move through with the title. Also having the keyword in. Do you need that? I'm not really sure. I saw someone that had some success using GrooveBlog, and that's the way they did it, so I'm just following suit. To just be honest about that point and say, I don't really know if that's the structure we need, but I'm not going to test it. And I saw someone that was doing it and it worked. So I'm just going to follow suit and go with it for now. We're going to look for an image based upon the new keyword. And I kind of like this one. It's unique. Probably grab someone's attention. We'll go ahead and we'll upload that and we'll select it. Then you can see that that puts that into the featured image. Again, we'll save the draft. I like to just go in and at least at a minimum, you know, like I said, I need to actually read this, and I will spend some time reading it, but at a minimum, you at least need to break up these paragraphs and headings and keep a format that is at least going to look like something that someone could read. So you just simply go through here, and then you would separate these with a few carriage returns to give it some spacing, just like a general, or the general idea here is it's just the eye test. Like you just scan through it and say, okay, well, let's just make sure that the formatting works as far as I have the ability to read it. Like I don't even want to try to read it when it's all like jammed up like that. So I go ahead and do that, and then I put in a little extra space here, come down here, give that a little extra space, because even before I start reading it to start editing it, I'm not going to try to like hurt my eyes and give myself a hard time trying to decipher these long strings of text with no carriage returns, which I wouldn't want to do to somebody when they land on this blog post to read it. I wouldn't want it to be that way if they were trying to read it, if I wrote it myself. So we'll go ahead and save that draft, and we'll exit that, and then we will save, and you'll see that that's going to be in draft. When that comes back here, that's going to be in draft mode right there until I have time to go back and actually edit it, which then takes me back to the spreadsheet. I will go ahead and put this in yellow. Yellow means that I am editing it, or that's what it means to me. Use your own color code. And then, of course, I will give it a RankIQ report and a RankIQ score. We'll go ahead and do that now. We can do that with the draft. So we could either grab the copy out of the editor, or we could just go back to KoalaWriter and just copy it again into the buffer, go back to RankIQ. Inside of RankIQ, of course, they give us the content analysis and the topics that Google likes. They also have the content optimizer, which gives me the grade. So then I'm just going to paste that in, and you can see right there that the blog post at KoalaWriter that I fed all of the keywords, you can see highlighted in green all the keywords that it hit. It did miss some of them. Or you can see if you click unused, it didn't use these, or I've noticed that it didn't use them directly the way. So for example, it may not have said physics of the universe, but physics of the universe or Earth's atmosphere with the apostrophe or theoretical astronomy may be in there somewhere. It just may not be in that order, may be different, or a plural of a word like small scale, nature of things. They could change it up a little bit, but the point here is the grade is an A++. We'll go ahead and copy that. Of course, that's also based on the word count. It beat the word count according to what RankIQ is saying. Again, that doesn't have anything to do with the AI side of this. That is the tool, RankIQ. I want to make that very clear, but it's part of the test because the SEO report, I think, is very helpful inside of RankIQ. I've had success with it over at my other blog, so I'm using that and throwing it into the mix. So we got an A++ inside of the content optimizer. So we'll take that back and we'll say, yes, we did use the RankIQ report and we did get an A++. And that's saved. And also the RankIQ title. If you go back to the SEO port inside of RankIQ, the title that we got from Koala came back with a grade of A+ and perfect. So Koala did really well there and gave us a perfect as well. So we haven't counted up the external links and we don't have any internal links yet, but we will. We'll go ahead and look at that. I was thinking around 10 blog posts, every 10 or so blog posts to go back and go through that. But I do want to try to get the content up and indexed and see if it will rank as is before I start internal linking and getting really heavy into external linking and internal linking, sort of that linking strategy. But we'll keep track of that and we'll add all that information in. And that is day 10. So next will be day 11. So we're moving right along to day 100. Questions, if you have them, ask them in the comments, or just anything that you see or you think. I know as you watch these videos and these case studies, when I make mistakes or I look at something and I'm like, oh, I didn't do this or I didn't do that, you're probably yelling at the screen going, no, you missed it, or no, you need to do this. So go ahead and let me know what you're seeing and what you're thinking about this case study in the comments. Appreciate it. If this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up. Also, the playlist and all the links are in the description to everything I'm talking about. Or if you don't see anything in the description or you can't find something about this case study, one of the tools or the other videos, ask that in the comments as well. And I'll talk to you later.